Welcome to Transformative Principal. We are calling this one episode 1054 because it's a special one and it's not disrupting the regular release. So, I want to take the time today to tell you a little bit about what's going on. I did the last update back in October of this year and I hinted at something but didn't come right out and say it like I'm going to say it here in just a minute. But first, I want to tell you a little bit about what's been going on. So, for me, the last few months have been pretty exciting. Um, I have started a partnership with ASCD doing the Student Driven Learning newsletter, which you can find at studentdrivenlearning.net. And that is through the ASCD Professional Interest Community group that they have, which is a really cool thing that I've been a subscriber to for a long time. You don't have to be an ASCD member to get that. So if you are listening to this, you can check that out again at studentdrivenlearning.net. And I bring that up first because that is an important piece that I'm going to talk about a little bit more. I have really found this place of passion for me around education, and I've known that it was there for a long time. But the things that get me really excited and jazzed up about education all revolve around this idea of student driven learning. And when we can take the pressure off of the adults and put the pressure appropriately on kids to be in charge of their own learning, what I've seen, and if you've listened to any of the podcasts where I've talked about synergy, I've seen tremendous things happen with my students because they are in control of their learning. That is a huge deal and something that cannot be overlooked. So the Student Driven Learning newsletter is all about student driven learning. Then in October, I spoke at the Rewire conference in New Jersey, which was an incredible experience. And thank you to Glenn Robbins for having me out there. That was a lot of fun and I really enjoyed it. It was really just amazing to go out there and speak to people about trauma and about that student-driven learning stuff that I've talked about here. So that was amazing, and I loved every minute of it. Then this week, I've been down at the Future of Educational Technology conference here in Miami, Florida, and I have learned a ton while I've been here as well. And the best part of any conference is getting to see people that you know and people that you are already friends with. And so, as you can imagine, being up in Alaska, I miss out on a lot. And this was one of those times where it was just great to be down there with others. In November, I skipped a month there. I went to the New Team Habits training, which is a new book by Anthony Kim, Kiara Mascarenhas, and Kawai Lai. And it was a really wonderful training and really gave me some insight on how to lead professional development so they're effective and people feel like they are part of it. And that's really great. Also, the mastermind is continuing to grow, and I'll be sending out some information for that. And so if you are not on my email list and are interested in the mastermind, definitely go to transformativeprincipal.org. And there's a bunch of places to put your email address in there. Just put your email address in, and I'll be sure you get that information this coming week. And then my wife and we have started coaching some families on how to set goals in a family setting. And I got to tell you, that is just so much fun. You may remember my episode a while back where I talked about how my son overcame his anxiety without taking medication or drugs or anything like that, and how that was the result of him setting his own goal. Now, doesn't that tie back into this idea of student-driven learning? Yes, it does. And so I do it in my own home, I do it in my school, and I do it in every chance I get because it is the best. Also, I'm giving a keynote in February, and so I'm looking forward to that opportunity, and hopefully I'll be able to see some of you there. More information will come out about that, and when it does, again, subscribe to the emails and I'll make sure that you get that. Finally, coming up on Transformative Principal, we have some amazing guests coming up that you are just going to love. We're going to talk about personalized learning. We're going to talk about how to get young women involved in STEM careers. We're going to talk about helping people feel like they're in a group with Phil Eccles. We're going to talk about Jen David Lang and Kim Marshall's book that just came out, The Best of the Marshall Memo. We're going to talk with a principal who is using video to improve the practice of her teachers, which is just amazing. And so you're going to look forward to that. And then I did a bunch of interviews while I was down here at FETC. And so you're going to have access to all of those, and it's going to be great. And those are going to be coming out over the next few weeks. So there's so much good stuff coming down the pike for listeners of Transformative Principal. And I just want to say thank you for listening and for sharing this and commenting on social media and all that kind of stuff. It just means the world to me every time I see one of those. So if you have questions or concerns, you can always reach out to me. And the best way to do that is to just reply to one of the emails that I sent out. And I'd love to do that. Now, here's the big announcement. I almost forgot about that. The big announcement is that at the end of this school year, I'm going to move full time into consulting and speaking and working with school leaders all across the country and possibly even the world. So over the next few months, you're going to hear me promoting that on as many podcasts as I can, because it's really exciting, and my work is going to be focused on student-driven learning. So if you're in a school and you're doing personalized learning, or you're doing Genius Hour or something like that, those are the types of things that I'm going to be out helping schools and districts work with. And I'm really excited about that, and it is going to be fantastic. So if you have a desire for that, or you want to know more about that, then please do reach out to me, and let's find a way to make it so we can work together. I'm really excited about it, and I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and I feel like right now is the right time to do that. So as I mentioned, the mastermind is growing, and if you'd like to be part of that as well, that'll be part of that student-driven work. And I'd love to have you as part of that. So for anything you want to connect with me, the best way is to go to transformativeprincipal.org, put your email in there, and then we will be able to connect. And thank you so much for listening to Transformative Principal. And we're going to get back to our regularly scheduled podcast, starting with Zachary Hartzman. He's coming up next, and he is going to talk about how he uses gaming in school. How sweet is that? That's his curriculum. What? That's amazing. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening to this short little update. And transformativeprincipal.org is where you can find everything. And there are show notes to this with links to all the other things that I talked about. So thank you so much for listening. And please share this podcast with your friends. Leave us a review in iTunes, or however you want to support me is great. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and we will talk to you later.